Hey there, I'm Sal. Thanks for checking out the video. I got the 6-speed manual transmission in my B6A4, and overall the shifter feels pretty good, but there's a couple problems with it that I'm hoping to address today. The first is the ball and socket mechanism is a little bit worn out, so you can see it's got this up and down play, which just doesn't feel the best. And then secondly, probably more importantly, when I go down into the reverse lockout like this, it doesn't come back up. So you got to kind of force it up, and something is like sticking where the spring is down there. So I'm hoping if we get it out, we can clean all that up, and we'll be back to good as new. So let's get into it. Okay, I just want to let you know really quick that I recorded this video at the same time that I recorded a video for replacing the center console in the car, and that should explain why in a second here you'll see a clip where I'm taking the trim off around the shifter and the radio's out and some other trim is off in the car. So that's why. Everything I think you need to know to do the shifter though should be included in this video, so hopefully you find it helpful. Next we can make our way down and remove the shifter bezel. So it just pulls right up. There's 4 clips holding it in place in the 4 corners. Just for sake of keeping this clean, I'm going to take this off. It's, in my case, with this, what is this, ECS tuning shift knob, there's 3 2mm Allen heads holding it onto the shift lever. These 3 set screws come out super easy, just tiny, 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 so don't drop them. And then once you get them out, the shifter just pulls off just like that. Okay, so next you'll have access under here, and I'm doing this in the middle of a different project where I'm replacing the center console, but that's why I have a little bit more space. You should still be able to do this through the shifter cutout in the center console, but this sound deadening or whatever sort of trim here needs to be removed, and it's just kind of held on with these 2 tabs at the back here, and then it should be able to just slide out. Again, much easier for me right now with the whole console out, but I think this should be able to slide out through the hole for the shifter here. Once that's off, we have access to the rest of the shifter assembly, and we'll remove these 2 bolts, or nuts, I suppose, and I believe they are 10mm. So with this removed, it gives us access under here. If you want to replace any of these levers or anything, I don't know why mine is so wet down there. Kind of gross. I don't even know what that is. But you can see everything's lubed up pretty good. And now we have access to, like I said, if you want to replace any of those things. I think most of what we're replacing is going to be staying in this housing here. Next I'll remove this snap ring here. It's a little bit big. But if you have some heavy duty snap ring pliers, you should be able to get that out. And then there's also another snap ring up here holding this whole spring assembly for the reverse lockout. So I'll be taking out both of those. Okay, so with both of the snap rings removed, we can remove the spring here for the reverse lockout. It just slides off. And then now we have access to the rest of the assembly, and you can see it just lifts out like this. Now, it's a little bit confusing, but I have the new one here, and you can see that it passes straight through the bottom. I was trying to pull this whole thing through, but this ball socket mechanism will just slide over the entire thing here. So don't be trying to pull this all the way through. You're not going to get anywhere like I was. So if we go to pull this off, try to do this one-handed, you can see it just slides off the rest of the rod, and you can see it's got this square / rounded shape on it, and that fits right onto that peg down there at the base of the shift rod. But yeah, we'll be replacing basically all of this, and hopefully we'll get a much better shift feel. Okay, so I got the new assembly all put together, all new parts. Everything in here is brand new. I'll have them on the screen and then also linked in the description. But yeah, looks a whole lot cleaner than the old one, and I think it's going to work a lot better. So I threw a little bit of red and tacky grease in there, just to try and keep it lubed up a little bit. I also threw it in the hole here. I might do a little bit more in there just to make sure that we don't run into any more binding issues going into reverse. But yeah, we'll just make sure it slides on and then seats properly with the correct shape lining up. And then we will push it in. We can reinstall the metal washer there on top of this upper bushing, and then the snap ring sits on top and locks it all into place. Okay, I want to take a quick second to kind of amend what I just said about using the red and tacky grease. I did that because that's what I did on my Nissan when I replaced the shifter in the car. Oh baby, that was the most satisfying thing. It just finally seated right in there. But the difference here is that the shifter on the Nissan is completely sealed up. Like, the whole shifter rod goes into the transmission, and then the shifter cover is bolted down and has RTV on it. Like, there's no dirt getting into the shifter there. In this case, you can see even when you just take the shifter trim off on top, you're looking right down into this ball and socket mechanism. So it's just begging for dirt to fall in there. Anything that sneaks by the center console will probably end up in there. And using red and tacky grease, like I did, just kind of attracts that. And unfortunately, it'll probably wear down that plastic on the shifter ball sooner than you'd like. So something that I didn't really know existed until after I did this was, it's called dry lubricant, and it's in like a spray form, and it has like particles of Teflon and PTFE or something like that. And apparently it lubes everything up, but it's all dry, so it won't attract that dirt. And I think in this situation, that's what you want to use as opposed to like a normal sort of grease like I did. Okay, so I got the snap ring in place, went pretty smoothly, but for those of you with a keen eye, you might notice that this washer is actually inverted from the way I took it out. This lip is actually facing up. When I took it out, it was facing down. And the reason for that is because I couldn't get the snap ring into place with the ring the other way. And because I think the ring, this lip, used to sit down in that gap between the bushing and those little fingers, whatever you want to call it, these guys. And with the new bushings, they don't have that gap anymore, so it couldn't sit down in there. So I just flipped it upside down, and now it sits okay. It locks in place, and everything is still really tight. So that's good. Also, what's good is the reverse lockout slides really smoothly, which never happened before. So I think we're headed in the right direction there too. So next up is this reverse lockout, and this is going to be kind of a pain because you got to compress this spring, which is not light, and then get this washer and the circlip on it all the way down to get the circlip locked into this this little indent right there. So it's a process of pushing this down while also pulling this up so that this is as high as it can be and this is as low as it can be. While also holding the circlip in place. So kind of a pain. So yeah, this did prove to be kind of a pain. Ideally, you'd have another person there with a third hand to hold up that rod while you push the spring down. But what I'm doing here is I decided to just put a socket underneath the base of the rod so it couldn't go down into that reverse position, and it actually worked pretty well. It held the rod in place, and I was able to push the circlip down with my snap ring pliers and my fingers to get it to lock into place. This whole clip is like 12 minutes long, and I was able to cut it down for you guys to save you the agony that I went through. But the most frustrating part of it was my snap ring was like stretched out, I guess, from sliding up and down over the rod for so many times. So when I would get it into the recess there, where it's supposed to sit, it would just keep popping out because it was like too big. So that was really frustrating. I was able to finally get it in place and kind of wedge it and then come back and squeeze it so it was tighter in that recess. And it's been good ever since. I recommend a good pair of snap ring pliers, and the job should go pretty well. Okay, cool. You just got everything in. Look at that. So smooth now. Shifting through the gears. super smooth. Biggest thing for me was this. That is awesome. So yeah, we'll just button it back up the way that we took it apart. Really, probably won't even document it. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's the fix. Okay, while I got you guys, I want to mention that in my research, I found that a lot of people, meaning the one dude who has done a write-up about this on the forums, replaced this in his car, and I got it. SCP Euro said it was supposed to fit the car, and when I got everything apart, I couldn't find where this would fit. I think what it's made for is the bottom of the shift lever should have, like, usually has a ball on it, and then it sits in here. But mine at the bottom, it's like flat, and then it sits in like this and is like bolted through. So I don't see how this would fit. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. Maybe it's somewhere else that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, in my case, I didn't throw this in. I'm going to return it, and the things that I did replace fixed my problem. So hopefully they fix your problem too. We'll finish out with a couple before and afters here. You can see the reverse lockout issue is completely solved. That is makes me so happy. The slop with the ball and socket mechanism is completely gone as well. Any up and down movement you see in the after clips is just the reverse lockout thing working. So yeah, it is. It feels so solid. I'm super pumped on it. Next for the car will be the video on swapping out that center console like I talked about in this video, a B7 one. So I got some cup holders, so looking forward to that. And then after that, unfortunately doing a little bit of top end engine work because I screwed up big time. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and have a great rest of your day.